Today, we're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
We play together, we play for each other, and we play to win.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Tonight we were challenged. We had some adversity. We lost some key players, but guys stepped up when they went down. That's next man in. That's what we're about. That's who we are. Next man in's called on. You got to do the job when you're called on. It doesn't matter if you're a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or senior. You're expected to get the job done for Notre Dame. That's why you're here. You get it done for Notre Dame, you get it done for your teammates. And you got it done today.
Head coach Brian Kelly talking to his team after their 30-14 come-from-behind victory over Purdue on Saturday night. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. Notre Dame's win on Saturday pushed the Irish up to number 9 in both college football polls this week, but it was not easy. The Irish were trailing the underdog Boilers 14-10 in the second quarter, and by the end of the night, they were playing without 6 of their top 8 defensive backs on the roster and the talented Amir Carlisle on the offensive side of the ball. But Notre Dame again scored in the final seconds of the first half to take the lead for good and shut the Boilers out in half number 2. Many players stepped up, including Corey Robinson, who despite playing with a broken thumb, caught 3 passes for 52 yards and a touchdown.
Made some big time plays when we needed them, stepped up. The guys played injured since the start of the season. Game ball goes for Corey Robinson.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Jessica. Jessica is driving to the mall, so she's not thinking about tires right now. If she were, she or her parents could go to TireRack.com to find the right tires for her car and get them delivered to an independent recommended installer. But Jessica's not thinking about tires. She's thinking, OMG, if Colt doesn't ask me to the prom, my life is totally over. It's tragical. Tire Rack is a proud sponsor of Street Survival, a hands-on driving experience preparing teens for real roads in the real world.
What happens to your internet when everybody's online at once?
It's very frustrating.
Run into bandwidth issues.
Xfinity delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. I bet we can have all 3 of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed.
Never seen something download that fast. Everyone can be on their devices all at the same time.
So, flippin' fast.
Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi with Xfinity Internet, or get started for $19.99 a month for a year. See for yourself. Call 855-215-FAST.
Sweat. It says I was here. I worked here. It says I only have so much to give before I have to take. What I lose, I want to get back. Sweat says I earned this. Gatorade, created to help replace what you sweat out.
The Fighting Irish have been working very hard on special teams from the moment they took the field for spring ball, and all that hard work is paying big dividends this season. On Saturday, Amir Carlisle's 47-yard return of the opening kickoff set up Notre Dame's first score of the game.
Great blocking. Carlisle had a great run and sets us up in great field position and gives us an opportunity to get a quick strike and a quick score and, really get off to the fast start that I think is important in any college football game.
Everybody in the country, of course, expected you to dominate the game, and on that first drive, just with the intensity, the execution, I think everybody thought that's the way the game would turn out, that you would just run away.
I thought it was a good start to the game. The execution was there, a couple of good runs, really nice finish in the red zone on a touchdown pass to Will Fuller.
And you had a number of times last night where the offense seemed to get a little out of sync and you needed somebody to make some plays and to lead, and it seemed almost every time Golson did that.
Yeah, Everett's going to be the guy that steps up in third down and make a play and make a throw. It's in his development that he's been getting better at that. And he made some big plays with his legs. He made some big play throws. I think what he'll see when we get a chance to sit down and watch the film together is that he can be better on those early downs and keep us out of having to make spectacular plays on third down.
Romeo Okwara had a great game.
Did a very nice job for us. We got a little tired there because of the volume that he played, and we couldn't get some of the pass rush that we needed from him. But by and large, an outstanding game for the amount of snaps that he played.
How important was the fumble Okwara forced in the second quarter?
I thought it was a big momentum turn. They were certainly at that point had a lot of momentum going in, having a chance there to score. I thought that was a very big play in the game.
You get the ball back with a little under 3 minutes left in the first half, and you're trailing, but you march right down the field and again score at the end of the half.
Yeah, I thought that was, again, a big series for us. I thought we did a nice job of mixing things up, made some plays on third down.
Talk about the big pass to Corey Robinson on that drive.
Well, we got a good matchup situation. They were really trying to overplay us a little bit to the field, to the wide field, and we got a one-on-one matchup with Corey into the short field against a safety that we thought we physically had an advantage. Everett put a ball out there only Corey could get to, and he made a great catch.
And then Everett scores on a 15-yard run. Talk about his decision-making process on that play.
Well, I wish he threw it. Will was wide open, but for some reason he didn't see it. And the great thing about Everett is that he can run it into the end zone. Got a nice block from Chris Brown as well. But again, that's his obviously strength. That if he doesn't like it, he's got the ability to get it in the end zone.
Everyone knew Notre Dame would be a young team this season, but no one expected the combination of circumstances that caused Brian Kelly and his staff to send 13 true or second-year freshmen into the Shamrock Series game against Purdue just 3 weeks into the 2014 season.
We just have guys that they know it's their turn, and they're not going to let anybody down. They want to go in there and they want to compete for their teammates in Notre Dame, and we've instilled that in our program, and that's when you know your program's in good shape.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas, all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Got him in group as a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart. Gotta get going.
Gotta be good.
Good?
Good.
Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business, and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
Great.
Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
I love logistics.
This is Phyllis. Phyllis is headed to a science conference, so she's not thinking about tires right now. But if she were, all she'd need to know is TireRack.com. She could use their reviews to find the perfect tires for her car and get them shipped to a local recommended installer. But Phyllis isn't thinking about tires. Phyllis is thinking, I'm not really sure, but it's probably important. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
As you saw in our last segment, Corey Robinson's first catch of the game late in the first half set up the go-ahead score for Notre Dame. His second catch of the game gave the Irish a 24-14 lead and some much-needed breathing room.
It was a great catch, and again, I think what we've talked about more and more about Corey is that, you know, if you just put the ball in away from the defender, he's going to go up and get it. And again, he's doing it with a fractured thumb. Everett is now putting the ball where he can go get it away from the defender. Corey Robinson makes a great catch and come up with a big touchdown.
There was some unsettling moments in the building with Purdue moving and scoring in the first half. Second half, defense shuts them out. Yeah,
and again, as I alluded to, Purdue needs to get a lot of credit for it. They masked a lot of different personnel groupings with 3 tight ends and gave us some fits until we were able to get some points on the board and separate a little bit. Then they went to some personnel groupings that we felt a lot more comfortable with, and that really settled us down. You know, again, losing Cole Luke and Devin Butler having to come into the game as well. Now we're down another corner. We really needed to keep things more simple, and I thought Brian did a great job of mixing things up, not giving them easy throws, but when we needed to, we brought some pressure in some key opportunity times as well.
And Devin comes into the game and picks off a pass.
Yeah, it was a nice interception. He had 4 tackles. And again, it's getting experience in those tough times, you know, and that was a crucial time in the game. And so he got some quality work.
And then you really close them down finally when Joe Schmidt comes up with an interception.
Joe's, you know, he knows where the football is. He was in great position, makes the big pick, and I think you're right. I think at that point we were able to kind of seal the deal.
Whenever a game like that ends with a big sack, that sign of the team saying, hey, we've got control of this, and this was our game.
That probably puts it, you know, the exclamation point on the victory defensively with the big sack at the end. Obviously, we've had a nice 4th down stand along the way, too. We've been really good there. But I think that's the way to end the game. It was a battle. Our guys knew it after the game, but one that we feel real good about, too.
This is one of the earliest bye weeks that Notre Dame has ever had, but it also seems like it could not come at a better time right now.
Yeah, at first when you look at the schedule, you say, all right, 3 weeks bye, not crazy about it. Couldn't have happened at a better time. Get some players back, let our kids really focus on their academics, and I think, again, from our standpoint, couldn't have come at a better time.
There is your final score once again, 30-14 Irish. Notre Dame has now won 7 straight games over the Boilermakers and 24 of the last 29. There is a look at your final stats provided by UND.com. The Irish did a good job of controlling the football in the contest and won the turnover battle 3-1. Notre Dame is now +8 in turnover margin on the season. For this week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week, we revisit Corey Robinson's third-quarter touchdown pass that gave the Irish a 10-point lead. Star sophomore linebacker Jalen Smith had an impressive 8 solo tackles in his total of 9 stops against Purdue. With each week, he is becoming more of a leader of a defense that expects to be dominant. But he also understands why Notre Dame's Game 3 victory over Purdue was a lot closer than the team's Game 2 shutout of Michigan.
It was a lot of adversity as well, you know, getting off to a bad start as far as, you know, how we feel, you know, defensively, you know, giving up 14 points, you know, that's something that, you know, isn't acceptable. And we really just had to rally together.
Well, that just really shows our character as a team to come back in the second half, knowing all that stuff happened, and you know, still pull together and make some big plays. And you know, count on each other. The secondary pulled together and make some plays, made some stops later on in the game. Same thing with the offense. You know, we really relied on each other, and we knew that, hey, you know, we got to bounce back because this is going to define us as a team. And, you know, the whole nation's watching.
And the nation saw a Notre Dame team that outscored Purdue 13-0 in the second half to go to 3-0 on the season. While the Irish realized they did not play their best game against Purdue, every player on the squad, young and old, realizes that winning should never be taken for granted, but instead savored.
It's so hard to win in college football, and no matter who you're playing, you know, people forget that. So any win, you know, we're very satisfied and very, you know, very happy, very excited to have the first quarter out the way, 3-0.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really what the score was as long as we got the win. So, I mean, it's always great to get a win because, college football is very tough to get a win every week. So, we got to keep it up.
There's no easy wins in college football. I know that, and that just shows that we've accomplished something in these first 3 weeks. No matter how you get there, as long as you get there, what matters is in the win and loss column.
As we go to break, we take a look at Coach Kelly's pick for this week's TireRack.com drive of the game.
I think it's that drive right before the half again. Getting that score right before the half, it settled us down a little bit. It certainly settled the offensive line down a little bit and said to them, hey, we can protect Everett, we can score points.
The evolution of luxury continues. The next generation 2015 Escalade.
Big news, the hottest deal in wireless. Whether you're a family of 2, 4, or 10, switch your whole family to Sprint. You'll only pay $100 a month for unlimited talk and text and 20 gigabytes of high-speed data to share for only $100 a month for the whole account. That's double the high-speed data of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. And to make it easier, we'll even buy out your whole family's contract. The Sprint Family Share Pack. Up to 10 lines for $100 a month. Simply put, it's the hottest deal in wireless. Come into a Sprint store today.
The Notre Dame football team has already given Irish fans many reasons to stand up and cheer this season. But one of the biggest cheers heard in Notre Dame Stadium so far in 2014 occurred before the Michigan game, when 4 Navy SEALs, members of the Navy parachute team known as the Leapfrogs, made a spectacular pregame jump after the national anthem, with each SEAL landing at midfield. Folks, you are in for a real treat. Here's how the jump looked from the SEALs' perspective.
Flying high overhead, a very select group of Naval Sea, Air, and Land Commandos, better known to you as Navy SEALs, preparing to exit from an aircraft 3,200 feet and land in this stadium. Three to Liam, 2, 1, and go, Liam. Front 2, Pierre. Front 2, front 2. Stand by 13. Starting move. I promise you, they can hear your voices if you are loud enough. Please welcome our first jumper, Purdue, Vic Maldonado.
5.
He's got to pick up his game tonight.
Well, there they are. You're parachuting in right behind you, John.
And music! Okay, stand by 13. 10, 9, 13. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, guys. Great night, guys. Father, thank you so much for having us. Great to have you. Great to have you. Thank you, guys.
Hey, sir, real quick.
Oh, wow.
The intro of this.
Holy mackerel.
When we heard you were coming, we got so excited. We had to make it happen.
You did make it happen.
We did.
We're going to get a picture with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I get goosebumps every time I watch that. Our thanks to Ted Mandel and the rest of the Fighting Irish digital media team for putting together that terrific feature. Now, you've already heard Coach Kelly talk about the career-best game-high 11 tackles Romeo Okwara turned in against Purdue. Now you get to see how Romeo will do when he tries to tackle my questions on this week's 60-second drill. First car you ever drove?
PT Cruiser.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Jack Johnson.
If you were a professor, what class would you teach?
Accounting.
Favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Get up early or sleep in?
Definitely sleep in.
Best player to room with on the road?
Isaac Rochelle.
One thing you always hear from Coach Van Gorder at practice?
Come on, Rook.
Which assistant coach is most like Coach Kelly?
Coach Elston.
Best singer on the team?
Corey Robinson.
Best dancer on the team?
Max Redfield.
Worst dancer on the team?
Elijah Shoemade.
Best comedian on the team?
Chase Hanshaw.
Best comedian on the coaching staff?
Coaching staff. Coach Van Gorder.
Best dresser on the team?
Cam McDaniel.
Worst dresser on the team?
Austin Collingsworth.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
The atmosphere and all the students around here.
Romeo Okwara, you have completed the 60-second drill inside Notre Dame football.
Thank you.
Couple of quizzes. Dinner? I don't know. Oh, love that. Send me the recipe. You too, Mom.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're just sitting down for dinner.
Perfect. Mind if I join you?
You did it.
Whenever you're close to Meyer, you're a little closer to home.
A financial institution is behind many of the milestones in your life. Pick one that sees you as more than just an account number. Own your dreams. Join a credit union today.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from 1962 Notre Dame grad Mike Minnelli of North Ridgeville, Ohio. Mike asks, Coach, during a game when you are talking into the mic of your headset, are you talking to the quarterback or someone in the press box?
Yeah, it's press box. We can't talk to the quarterback like the NFL, obviously. So I'm talking to Mike Denbrock generally, and we're going over whether it's a recap of the series or we're discussing the play calls, but we're in constant communication.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Next up for the Irish, after the bye weekend, a visit to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey to take on a 2-0 Syracuse team that went on the road this past weekend and beat Central Michigan 40-3, the same Central Michigan team that won at Purdue 38-17 the previous week.
MetLife Stadium in New York, New Jersey, obviously, but it should be a great atmosphere. Our kids will be excited about the environment. Syracuse is going to be excited about it. You know, they've got an athletic quarterback, aggressive defense. You know, they like to bring a lot of different looks and some pressure. So it'll be another great challenge for us. Again, we've got a great following in New York, New Jersey. Should be an exciting football game.
That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. Like the Irish team, we will be off next week, but Inside Notre Dame Football returns in 2 weeks with all the highlights of the Notre Dame-Syracuse game. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.